Hi, welcome to where I do my tutoring at St. Peter's United Methodist Church in Evansville, Indiana. I have, over the past 2 years, been developing materials based on working with a variety of students. I work with 12 students currently, and one of the most important things about my tutoring is I walk in with a student and I walk out with a student. I spend next to zero time actually preparing for a lesson. And that is a wonderful thing. Let me show you how I go through a lesson or talk you through a lesson with a student. I keep each of my students' materials in a binder. So when they come in, I pull out their binder and I open it up, and inside I have their sequence of what sounds they've had, their cards in one pocket. These are the sounds they know, these are the sounds they need to be taught, and here is where they are in the sequence for reading. So when we begin the lesson, I just pull out their cards and I go through them as a visual drill, and one at a time. If they have difficulty, of course, we work with that. When they're finished the visual drill, I have my little handy stack of loose leaf. Pull it out, give them a pencil, and that drill we go through, I say the sound and they repeat the sound and then they write it. So they write that on paper. Now this is this student who is going into the second grade. He is writing the sound, I'm saying it. When he has an error, when we resolve the error, he then is writing it 3 times and saying it out loud as practice for that sound. And you can see he had 2 errors in this lesson. Now, if I'm teaching a new sound, which I did in this case, I then pull out that sound and begin a lesson. The lesson plan book is right here, and I'm able to use that for every student. So for him, the first thing I do is I have him read the review words. And these are a review. I know he's had all these sounds. Oops, it's the wrong lesson. Here's the Y lesson. He's had all these sounds because that is how the lesson book is set up. So the first thing he does is review those. Then I introduce the sound y, as in yell. And the first thing I do is then have him write it 3 times and say it. He wrote it more than 3, but that's okay. Once we're done with him doing that, I pick out the Y book, which is right, and I have him read it. So he's reading and saying the words. Now, when he's doing this, I have his list. I know what sounds he knows and what sounds he doesn't. So if he knows like yarn, he doesn't have the R sound, but because of the picture, often children can figure out the word. If not, I'm either going to give him that sound or I am going to give him the word. But once he's done reading the book that goes with the sound, I then have him again write the sound and say it. He always is writing it and saying it at the same time. After that, I have him read the Y words from the book. Now these words, I can confidently have him sound out because I know because I'm following the sequence of the lesson plans that he knows all the sounds in these words. And that's an important opportunity for him to blend if it's an unknown word. If he knows the word, he just reads the word. But some of these are not very common words like yelp, so it usually provides an opportunity for some blending. Once he does this, again, I have him write the sounds and say it. And the final step is for me to give him 2 words to spell. And again, those are right on the lesson plan, so I just flip it over and I read those words. Yet and yip were the words he spelled. So that is how I've done it. Now this lesson plan is more complete, but really what I've just gone through covers what I think are the essentials of the lesson plan. In a longer lesson, you could add like spelling review words. I don't choose to do that because my focus is on reading. But I put that in there for those who want to have a stronger reinforcement, or if you have a student who is really having difficulty learning the sounds, that's another way to reinforce learning the sounds. So in these lessons, spelling is a reinforcement of reading. It's another way to teach sounds. But once we've done the lesson, I then mark it on the plan, we put these in, and we begin reading. Now, this form I use, you have this, it is to track the introduction of sounds. And the other book sheet I have is a reading tracking. So this is the reading in the most general sequence. This is a relatively new student. We didn't need to go through the early readers. That was too low for him. So he's doing the Childland readers. And so he's on book 5. And again, it's really nice. It's right here. I'm able to pull it out and start reading with him. Other readers are in books, and again, those I can have sitting right here. I can use it for multiple students and just mark where they are. I use a Post-it. And so it doesn't require having a lot of materials, and so what you do have is right here. And when you're done with the lesson, you're just folding a binder and putting it back. Another tool that I do keep handy, and truly this is about it, is a whiteboard. When a student is struggling with a word, it is sometimes really helpful to make it larger and and chunk it in a way, and just a dry erase. And that's it. I get up and I walk out right with the student. I hope this works for you. Thank you.